Hi guys. Hi guys. Sorry, I'm on the road. I'm gonna listen. That's okay.
Community so missed about you.
Yeah.
The feeling is mutual.
So we live.
I'm doing 120 on the highway, so.
Oh, yeah, don't die.
There we go. Sorry, guys, we are live. I was just wondering why I was getting an echo in. I had a muted YouTube. So, amateur hour. Hi, everyone, though. And good to see your face, Mitja. Mitja's face. Hello. How are you doing, buddy?
Hey guys.
Awesome.
Great.
And chest hair.
Yeah, great.
Awesome.
Great stuff. Well, yeah, welcome to weekly meetup number 79, everyone. Obviously, huge week, as those of you who've been keeping up to date with everything will already know. There've been no token distributions, so that's a nice easy start for things, isn't it? Nothing to go through there. But like I say, we have a hugely packed agenda today. So I know we're hopefully still waiting for a few more people to pour in. But Mitja, do you want to get us rocking and rolling with some technical updates, if you can, please, good sir?
Yeah, I can. So this is very simple technical update. We have introduced the first Rust validator into the mainnet, and it just was elected in the elections, and well, the blocks version number 13, non-coincidentally, are being now like floating in the network. These blocks are actually the blocks that the Rust validator has collated. And now we will gradually start to increase this number of these validators in the network. And once it reaches 75%, we will like disconnect C++ nodes from our network, hopefully for good. And the network will be completely switched to the Rust technology. Once that's happening, we will start, as I said, to introduce different additional patches. And on some level, we will do probably something like what Solana did with just, you know, getting 1,000 transactions per second constantly running. We can do that with more, obviously, as this network with even single work chain Rust network currently can produce about 12,000 transactions per second on a single work chain, which is by itself just an amazing thing, I think. So as fast as we move there, better. And but there is a lot of work for validators next months as more and more patches will be introduced with the Rust node. So the validators need to be ready, kind of, and they, like, you cannot do what you did last year, basically, which is like leaving the node like it is running. Because obviously all the active development that we're doing, and it's an incredible amount of work that the team at TonLabs is doing on the node side, will be gradually like transferred to the mainnet, and this will take time and you know, effort from all the involved validators. So you cannot just sit passively, because your network will be kicked away. Your validator will be kicked away sooner or later if you do that. So please be prepared, and like the public patch for the Rust node, Rust validator will be out. Please do not update your validators yet. Like, even if you think that you know what you're doing, just don't do that yet. We'll wait for announcements, because there are some things we're still testing, and these things can be dangerous. So do not do that. Like, let us first, we will contact you privately, like the validators, the first batch of validators that we will ask to switch to the Rust node. We will, you know, there are a lot of validators that we worked with on the Rust Cup, and we have great relationship with you guys. So do not attempt to do it by yourself. Please allow us to lead you through this process. So everything runs smoothly, and there are no accidents, and the network is great and living, and so on. So the testing phase is still going on. We are accelerating the move to Rust now, Rust network for like obvious reasons. Yeah, but it should be really done in a correct fashion. So that's, I think, all from me.
Great stuff. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, obviously Rust Cup accelerating things there, moving into the next big era, really. Do we have any hands up? Do we have any questions for Mitja on the call today, guys? And anyone, any questions about this? Should we check on the YouTube as well? Nothing. No questions from anyone. In which case, thank you very much, Mitja. Brilliant stuff. It's great. The first mainnet Rust node validator. That's awesome. So coming up next, big topics. Let's go over to alpaca farm extraordinaire Vladislav. It was a big day yesterday, wasn't it, my friend?
It was indeed. So and a great week actually. So you see the density of the events that are happening now. So the big burn, the big rebranding, and the launch of the Rust node. So it's a great week, so historical one.
Yeah, you can say that again. Obviously, with the burn, now you were presenting the meetup for that, or the meeting, the event, should we call it? Can you give us a few words on how things went down yesterday with the burn?
All went just smoothly, actually. So a very big thanks to Mitja and his team who prepared the smart contract for the black hole, so as it's called right now. So actually 3 billion tons were moved from the Referral Giver to the black hole, so meaning that they will never be extracted from there in any way. So now probably we should call them 3 billion ever. Or never. Yeah, so actually everything worked really fast. So everyone signed. So nothing to say really.
Hey, no news is good news in an event like that, I think. Then I know the attendance was really good though, wasn't it? We had what was it, a few hundred people watching along live.
Actually, I didn't track because I was moving, all the guys to sign the transaction. So I was not monitoring this. Yeah. So and we had a pleasant discussion with Mitja yesterday as well. So about the Rust node rollout plan.
Yeah. Well, you guys did a brilliant job. Like I say, it was a really good watch along, to be fair, and entertaining stuff. Just before we get to Mitja, one question which I've heard a lot in the chats, if you could just give us a brief answer to, Vlad. Why was the decision kind of taken, or what was the kind of process of taking this decision to burn 3 billion tokens?
Actually, tonight, so at 8 p.m. Moscow time, if I'm not wrong, Sergey will just be hosting the AMA session. So I think this is a question for this session. So not to spoil it. So because I expect a lot of questions going there. So
okie doke. So
let it leave until the evening.
Yeah, well, we'll see what question Mitja's got and whether you want to answer that one now then or save it for later. But yeah, Mitja.
No, it's not a question at all. I mean, I just think that ever and never are quite a good replacement for not at all. So we will probably have to rename our paper with Andrew from not at all binary system to
never
and ever binary system.
Yeah, why not?
Never move at price. Yeah.
Yeah, it even sounds better than not, frankly speaking. So
I agree.
Awesome. Well, yeah, in which case then
there was also Ivan is suggesting to call the network TNT now. TNT is not at all. It's also a nice suggestion, I think. So we will think about. So never, and the TNT is the symbol of the token stablecoin. Yeah, nice.
Awesome. Well, I know there've been 1,000 million questions about the rebranding and everything, everything Everscale, but Yeah, well, we will come to that, well, as our big kind of topic in a few minutes. But yeah, if there's no kind of further questions about the burn, or if Lad's saying he's not going to answer them until 8 o'clock tonight, so like I say, AMA going on that topic a bit later. Let's move on to our, we won't say feature presentation, but any other normal week, this would be a feature presentation. Zach, are you there, buddy?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Are you there?
Yeah, excellent.
Check the message.
You're coming through a little bit bubbly.
Okay, I move closer. So can you hear me now?
Yes, that's much better, much better.
Yeah, so I'm going to demonstrate to you the, let me just check. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do a quick demonstration of the latest progress of our game, the TonLoot. So first of all, everything is on testnet at the moment, so it's not on the mainnet yet. And we've got the hero contract ready. So now you can play the hero contract, and you'll be able to recruit your hero. So I want to demonstrate the full process because it's going to take a few minutes. So to just save you guys time. So for example, when you recruit, you can recruit a hero there, and you can choose the race. It's a little bit slower, and then you can choose the gender, and then the class, which is the job, the class of the hero, and then you need to just pay for it, which is quite cheap. So maybe a couple of TON. After this, then you recruit your hero, and you can do the training. So the training at the moment on the testnet, you can train for every minute, but on the mainnet, the train will be only taking once a day. So you can train your hero in order to gain the XP. And the purpose of training is in order to do the level up. So I'm going to do a training here. So it will pay for 0.3 TON, but then it will give you the return the rest of the back. So the actual cost will be among, I think it's 0.02, 0.02, I think 0.03. Okay. So once you have the training ready, then the hero will reach the threshold of these levels XP, then you can do the level up. So the reason we're doing level up is because you can earn extra point on the attributes. So you have different attributes here. Let me just show you. So for example, when you click a hero, then you have attribute points, strengths and dexterity and constitution, etc. So when you have level up, then you have extra point in order to increase your attributes. So the attribute will be very useful for in the subsequent games. And so once this is ready, then you can do the level up. Let me just check. Because my network is a bit slower at the moment.
Okay, there's no rush, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why it is slower. Because it's connecting to the testnet, so the refunds back.
Just while we're waiting for that to process, Mitja, you've got your hand up with the question.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Zachary if what is the gameplay itself? Can you because I never tried. Can you show us what is happening in game, or you don't have that developed yet?
No. For the training, there's no actual game happening. It's just calling the contract, so you can do the training. And then I'm going to demonstrate to you the first game, which is the version 1 of the game, which is called Dungeon, in a while, just in a minute. Okay, now you can see this hero is ready for level up. So basically, you can level up this hero, and you can earn the gold coins, which is the TonLoot coins. And as you can see, the coins is here. So the coin contract is ready on testnet as well. So the coin is connected to the Broxus wallet. So here you can see the 2010 100 coin as well. And that's not the official name of the coin. So the coin will be called TGLD, the TonLoot Gold. So this coin is follow the TIP3 standard. So basically you can do swap. You can swap the coin to TON and you can do the farming in future. Okay, so now that's the actual game on testnet. And here I'm going to show you some quick demo of the hero, the dungeon. Okay, so at the moment we're considering to change the name to Everloot as well, so just in consolidate with the name changing thing. And as I said before, so now we have a series of different contracts and debots. So we have a hero ready on testnet and attributes, and then the TON Gold. And we're working on the first version of the dungeon, which is called, it's a randomly generated unique NFT. And this dungeon is going to be deployed on testnet next week, probably on Monday or Tuesday. So basically, what is dungeon? The dungeon is 100% randomly generated and tile by tile. So the dungeon is a combination of the different tiles. And each time the player need to call the FedNext method in order to generate the next tile. And each dungeon is a true NFT. So basically you can trade them and you can build them on whatever wallets which supports true NFT. And each of the dungeons have one or several room, and inside the room there will be boxes. So the treasure box contain gold and gem, and there will be resource for the game, in-game resource like wood and stones, etc. And in order to explore the dungeon, you need to find the entrance. So the hero need to pay 500 gold in order to enter the dungeon. And okay, so to explore the dungeon, then the hero needs to have, we need to use two different attributes, the strength and constitution. The strength, which translated to stamina. So stamina is calculated by the strength point of the hero, and it will -1 for each tile explored. And the second thing is the house point, HP. So HP is calculated by the constitution point of one hero. And HP is used for fighting with the monsters. So for either one of these attributes drop to 0, then the hero must retreat, and it only can be come back to the dungeon on the next day. Okay, so and there are 4 tiles of the dungeon. So basically, we have the first one is a corridor. So the corridor basically have nothing, but you may encounter a monster. And the second one is fork row. The fork row basically there's no monster there, but the hero needs to choose the path. So there had basically directions. And we have the dead end. The dead end basically means the end of the route. The hero needs to come back to the next route. So you need to choose another direction. And the room. So inside of the room there may be monsters, and there could be one treasure box. And the hero need to open the box in order to get the treasures or the rewards. Okay, and so to be continued, so we're still continue doing the developments. So in the future, then each dungeon can be played by other heroes as well, by other players. And if there's a rare resource inside of the dungeon, then other player can enter the dungeon by paying a number of coins, gold coins to the owner of the dungeon. And there can be a dungeon quest, like you're connecting different dungeons all together, then you can do a quest. And also you can trade your dungeon. For example, you explore all the dungeon and you left all the treasure box unopened, then you can sell your dungeon to others. So basically you can trade this because it's true NFT. And by the way, so everything, all the dungeons and the tax and all the taxes polishing is still done by the great Ben. So Ben is helping us a lot with doing the polishing, the tax and all the context. Okay, so we're still doing the testnet bounty. So there will be 20K TON rewards for everyone join us to do the testing and do the debugging and to giving us suggestion and advice. And if there's anyone is happy to build up the extension or utility tools on top, then there will be rewards given as well. And again, as I mentioned, so the source code will be released. So the hero contract is already been, I think it's already been on GitHub, but we only invite a number of community members to join it in. So anyone is interested in reviewing the contracts, then they can just PM me. Okay, so that's all I'm going to demonstrate. Thank you.
Fantastic presentation. Thank you ever so much, buddy. And again, you're far too kind in your praise. I've just helped them polish the text a little bit. The work you guys are doing is genuinely brilliant, I think. I love the concept of the dungeons being true NFTs. So, you know, you don't just own your players, but you own your conquests, you know. Just to make clear, one of the cool parts I think about this, which some people might not know already, everything in the game you can access and you can play the game either via the web interface or via debot. Am I explaining that right?
Yes. Yeah, but the only thing is that the dungeon, when you play on debot, then you need to, maybe you need a piece of paper and a pen ready. Otherwise, it's a bit complicated.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, did anyone have any questions for Zachary about Evolute?
I'm sure you can do the whole, like now with this pipe technology, you can do the whole interface of the game also standalone, like a debot with the graphical interface that you have. So that would be also not a problem. But I don't know if it's actually important for the games, but if the games has a valuable things within, like this NFT and trades are gaining up and there are a lot of value in it, then I think you might consider, if you already have debot, it's quite easy to just connect it to the graphical interface that you have already and run it. And then you can run it as a standalone application actually without any connection to the web server.
Okay. Oh, okay. So in that case, then Mitja, can we maybe go to you after the meeting? So I have a number of questions actually. Yeah.
Well, I think better like next week because we're still running around with this with the browser kind of it's not open source yet, so it will be much easier for you to do that once it's open sourced. So then we can talk about that later maybe.
All right.
But I'm saying just in principle, like there is no like you can do exactly what you showed, exactly the same thing, just without a web server being in between. So if there is something valuable that you want us to grow into, then you know then you probably it's safer to do this way.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great then. Thank you.
Fantastic. Any other questions or comments? Nothing but nice comments in the chat box here. We've got that's awesome. Nothing to comment. Creates work and great work indeed for you, Zach. So definitely on the right lines, buddy.
Sorry, last question. Is there any like farming mechanics? So you play and you earn tokens as you go, right? Basically.
Yeah, that's exactly the point. So we're trying to build the ecosystem of the actual game. So inside the game, there will be gold token, the TonLoot Gold TGLD. And we're trying to do a fair launch of the token. That means the token will be minting only when hero doing the level up. So that means that the token, the economy of the game is expanding as long as the game, as long as the ecosystem is growing. But then the gold will be used for any other subsequent activities, like you're minting and like you're crafting, right? Like you're doing potion making, like you entering the dungeon, etc. So the gold will be the first token inside of the game, and we're trying to create the actual ecosystem of it. So maybe next time I'll demonstrate like a white paper or maybe a high level diagram.
Yeah, that would be nice. Like your token calculations, like why, like how does the supply will work, and you know, in comparison with the user activity, like players' activities, and what they will need to do once they are on the higher levels. Like, would they need to buy these tokens to upgrade themselves, or somewhere on the market, or you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So exactly as you said, so the token, the people can do swap. So when they want to do higher level trainings and to do like a privilege and like rare craft or the equipment craftings, etc., then they probably were in short of the token. In that case, they were just do the token swapping. So they use TON to buy the actual token then. And we plan to do the farming as well. So you basically can staking your token into the swap farm, the swap pool, the liquid LP, in order to do the farming rewards. So we have all sorts of plans. Then probably I can do like a high level demonstration next time.
Great, would be lovely. Thanks.
I know, for those of you who didn't see it this week, Zach, we actually did an interview over on Hackernoon. Well, I did an interview with you over there, and I mean, you went into some really interesting areas about the philosophies of metaverses and play-to-earn economies, and yeah, I mean, huge plans you guys have got there, I think.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, definitely. So for those of you who haven't read that article, go give it a look. It's very interesting. It's not a particularly long one either. Right. I think that's all the questions we've got on that for you. Thank you very much, Zach. The topic that's burning on everyone's lips. Everscale. It rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? The more you say it, the more I like it. Alex, you're smirking like a Cheshire cat, my friend. Do you want to take the floor?
That was just responding to your playing with Everscale, but I do love the sound of it as well. Well, look, first of all, as we discussed last time, there has been investment. There was an official global governance vote that ended just a couple of hours ago. So we're now formally on-chain verified Everscale, not Freeton. And I can see a whole bunch of community chats already being renamed. So that's I think an exciting news and the start of a new chapter in the book of our history as we're building it. In terms of the next steps, there are quite a number of next steps. There is everything starting from trademark registration, making sure the migration to the new everscale.network website happens in a way that maximizes, search engine optimization, and we don't lose any branded traffic or any other sort of traffic, and hopefully, some new ones. Obviously, website development, reaching out to CoinMarketCaps, CoinGeckos, exchanges, changing the ticker. Obviously, the press releases. So there's like 15 different pieces of work that are happening now in parallel. And I'm happy that different teams in the global governance, mostly, some teams from the community volunteered to help as well, who reached out and took a particular piece of work. So all of those kind of 15 action items are now happening simultaneously with certain sequencing and priority in mind. It's not going to happen overnight, obviously. I mean, things like even, website development and also we had a call with the guys who are experts on search engine optimization. They're saying you cannot just, migrate overnight, because then you'll lose a lot of traffic as well. So there are certain techniques where, two websites would need to coexist on parallel, freeton.org and Everscale, and et cetera, et cetera. So they're coming up with proposal. So there is this process. So I wouldn't expect, that rebranding would be done overnight. And it needs to be done with the quality as well. Just a few hours ago, we briefed Waxman, who are going to work on stuff like press release and also making sure that there is significant media pickup of the rebranding. So all of that exciting work is happening on parallel. And thank you for the teams who volunteered to lead a particular piece of work.
Well, you say you've got an action list of 15 items, was it, that you're pretty much getting through? I think I've got at least another 10 to add to that list for us. Sorry, buddy. So, yeah, definitely a lot of work to do.
Absolutely, Ben, and please jump in as well. There is a lot of community work, of course, that needs to be done. I know you guys are leading now a new Discord channel, which quickly picks up in popularity. Excited to see that one, shaping up and getting power as well.
Yeah, I mean, big plans going on, but yeah, we'll come to all the community plans probably next week. I think I'll maybe give a bit of a presentation next week with Ron back hosting, I think. So I know one obvious question, which I bet is in YouTube. If not, it's somewhere else. I've seen it a few times. What's the name of the coin and the ticker officially going to be according to the proposition?
Well, the blockchain is Everscale. Token is also Everscale for consistency, and then ticker is Ever. And there is a logic for Ever is we think that Ever can be something like TON, can be an anchor name that is used. So we have TON bridges, TON swaps, TON wallets, etc. So potentially you can think of, obviously subject to the team willing to do that migration. You could imagine Ever swaps and Ever bridges and Ever wallets and Ever whatever. Ever whatever, actually, that's a nice one.
Evolute.
Ever dot whatever. Obviously, again, it's not, nobody is going to enforce it. It's up to the community who owns particular pieces of infrastructure or solutions to decide. But everybody thought that that was an opportunity again to have that anchor word, which is not available in some of the other networks as well. And Ever seems to be a good one, you know, a little bit of fantasy, a little bit of, you know, of a scale here as well. Scale cannot use for that, just in the spirit of transparency, because Facebook booked, you know, is protecting Scale, not just Meta, but also Scale, apparently, as we learned. Trademark right, left, and center in all the key IT classes. So it's, and Ever is not really busy by an IT giant. So we're a little bit lucky there. So yeah, that's in short. And if anybody can contribute in any way to making this, you know, big, and we're picking up a particular piece of work from the scope, yeah, everybody's welcomed.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a huge community effort all round, isn't it? You know, we're going to need everyone. And sorry, one other kind of tangenting question, but just while we're talking about like specifications, I know to keep Rolly from the Telegram group happy, is it capital E and small s in Everscale, or is there a capital S? I know that's a burning question.
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, the way it's been used so far and the way it's been voted by global governance just again a couple of hours ago is it's a small s in between. So it's one word, Everscale, not two words with capital S with scale. But I mean, it's kind of not, we haven't pushed this out to the world yet publicly. So if anybody has a particular, position, let's talk about that. That was kind of consensus to keep it one word with a small s. I think there's been some issues also with Freeton being two words historically. So yeah, and with confusion, a lot of confusions there. So yeah, looks like Sergey wants to say something.
Yeah, looks like Sergey doesn't like the two words.
yeah, he was on my side. Yes, about Everscale. I think that Everscale is the best name because we have hundreds and hundreds different options how we can rename a network. Of course, Crystal 2 was good, but now it's only in past because a lot of problem with TON in exchanges and a lot of different forks, and some of these forks will come, and we will get a lot of problem if we will not rename. This is why we push this renaming. And I think Everscale is the best variant because we can use in different products different options. We can set up Ever bridge, Ever wallet, or scale, bridge scale, swap scale, and it's very interesting game. And of course now a lot of guys working under rebranding. It's a huge process, new guidelines and negotiations with exchanges and CMC and CoinGecko and etc. I think in few weeks we will be totally new network, and maybe in the first December we will remove all Freeton mentions, and all people will know about Everscale. Yeah, about next steps. I will ask. I will talk about it on today AMA session. But maybe it will be in Russian because a lot of people in our community speak on Russian, but I think we will create two parts on Russian and on English. With your name, we will start big partners with funds and etc. And from the DeFi Alliance, we will announcement it maybe in next week.
Excellent stuff.
Because we did offer it, and a new name and burning token, and change a lot of different process in community.
Yeah,
of course, it's not finished. It's not finished. It's process, but we did a lot of different stuff for it.
I know you guys, obviously, the DeFi Alliance proposition and all that. Yeah, it's huge plans there, which are integral to everything we're going to be doing going forward, of course. Alex, you've got a question, my friend. Darkwing, sorry.
Yeah, yes. By the way, I think that Broxus run wonderful thing. As everybody can see in the chats, they ask people to send them some variants of logo, and the best of them, as I know, will be awarded of some of tons, I think. And by the way, yes, I totally support this, and I think that this name open doors to a lot of different possibilities. By the way, like Darth Vader on the back of Sergey.
I was going to mention the Darth Vader posters, but I thought I'd try and be all mature. Thank you for mentioning that for me, buddy.
With new brand.
Well, we'll bring the force. Bring the force. But yeah, as everyone said, the potential for Ever as a marketing kind of, I don't want to say gimmick, but a hook, an anchor, a prefix. Yeah, there's a lot more you can do with that in terms of, tweeting and all those kind of social things which really matter nowadays, which I'm probably too old for, but, we have people around, don't we? So let's check in on YouTube, see if we've got any big questions on the rebrand. Nothing there at the minute. Sorry, Bolte. Yeah, I think there were a couple of sound issues at one moment. Hopefully we're all coming through clear now, though. So that is the big rebranding. Like we say, hopefully we'll be aiming for a couple of weeks, end of December. Alex, do you think that's possible, as Sergey said?
It depends on what we're talking about as a trigger for the rebranding to be over. I mean, it's going to be a gradual process, again, partially driven by some bottlenecks, like the need for proper search engine optimization, the readiness of the new website. We have the big, project with FIDE, as everybody knows, with ChessNFT.com. We cannot disrupt that one as well. So there is a number of considerations that require intelligent sequencing and then removing those bottlenecks one by one. But I mean, it's just every day we're going to see more and more things happening. It started already with renaming the chats. I mean, the formal trigger is change of the website formally. My personal estimate, it's going to be 2 to 3 weeks, realistically speaking. So if that's the triggers, then we're talking kind of end of November, beginning of December.
Excellent. I think that's a good aim. Good aim. And
change of the website. Sorry, not just change of the logo. That could have happened much faster. We're talking like a completely new website that is being led by a couple of teams in the DeFi Alliance. Kind of, more modern, more with ideology of more like, onboarding, welcoming. And then of course we would keep all the catalog things we currently have, but again, that's a separate exercise. So more like, what guys like Solana and Near have. That's what's coming.
Excellent stuff. Okay, well, just check the chat. Joanne said, when is the AMA? Vlad then said 8 p.m. CET, which is 7 UTC for the rest of us. And we have one more presentation for today to get through, if we've got no more questions here, guys. And that's coming from Roman. Roman, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said you'd like to the floor for a few minutes for WebFree Army.
Yeah, I just want to remind for the community members that you guys you can help to the free ton. Let's promote it using our new hashtags you can participate in our chat. You can join our chat and start sharing in Twitter and Reddit and Telegram and many other social media. We'll be glad if you help us to create this WebArmy marketing. Everyone can participate and start sharing like it. At this moment, we don't have any kind of rewards, but maybe in near future we'll think how to motivate people do more tweets, likes, and shares. So if you feel that you can do something in marketing field, welcome to join and start doing something.
Yeah, well said. I mean, I couldn't agree more with everything there. I mean, whilst Alex mentions, it's about the big scale things. It's also about, all of us getting involved. When it comes to social media, there's a big concept called social proof. And so, even if you think, oh, I don't have a lot of followers, no one's really listening. It's about getting involved and showing you're proud to be a member of Everscale. We're ever here, we're ever proud. Ever proud. There we go. That's my first pun. My first ever pun. Are you proud, Alex? There we go. So yes, WebFree Army, get involved. Alex, Darkwing's dropped the link in the chat. Like we say, I've got a few ideas of how we can kind of incentivize it to in the longer term. So me and Roman are working on some big things there. But yeah, get involved.
Yeah, it's just beginning.
Just the beginning, exactly.
Yeah.
Right, and so we've got a question on YouTube. I've seen that the white paper has not been accepted by MainGov. Is this because you want it to have Everscale white paper and not free tons, or are there other questions? I think that's probably best answered by Mitja, if you're still here, bud.
Sorry, missed it. What the question is?
You just heard your name and shot back to the
yes,
desk.
exactly. Precisely.
So the question is, the white paper hasn't been accepted by the main governance yet.
It's because it hasn't been renamed. It still bears the Freeton insight. So once I will, go and rename, it's there are still things that also need to be considered, like TON and NOT, which is mentioned in the white paper. So like we need to rename that as well to as suggested ever and never. And so stuff like that, small details, and then the white paper will be published with a new name, and then I hopefully it will get accepted. Not that it needed any acceptance, but whatever. If you say so, like you can vote for it if you want. Unless you want to do some other design and write a Rust note yourself with some other properties in it, you're welcome to do so.
Yeah, that's not a task I'd want to embark on, to be fair, buddy. Alex, you've got a question?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at different chats and see people's frustrations about, what's happening around Toncoin. So project, mostly, of course, in the Russian-speaking ecosystem. It's not really beyond that. So I just wanted to, give my personal opinion. I published it in a couple of chats today, but just in the spirit of transparency. Well, guys, look, I mean, Toncoin is a project that, that exists on parallel. They chose a very different strategy versus what we've been doing with Freeton and now Everscale. They chose an extremely aggressive marketing policy, buying advertising, a new native advertising from Telegram, which actually even makes it into our chats. And there is nothing we can do about that because that's exactly as it works on Facebook or Instagram, where I mean, it's just native advertising of the platform. So it's not that Toncoin is scripting into the Freeton chats or Everscale chats. It's just a natural thing to do. Of course, it's a little bit unpleasant, but it's just it's just a very different approaches the guys are taking, and I think we have to be strong. I think we have to move our way, and continue moving in the direction of focusing not so much on hype and and advertising, but making our products, our ecosystem and our solutions work for themselves, focusing on adoption. I'm sure long term it's an extremely viable strategy and also more sustainable strategy. That's my
Yes,
two
Sasha, I think it's a little bit easier. Imagine that Toncoin is a black box, and you don't know Telegram inside or no inside in this box. If Telegram not inside in this box, that it's totally scam, and of course it's a big pump and dump, and nobody know when it will be dumped. If Telegram inside, it will be SEC going, and it will be big trouble. So we have only two output from its black box, and all output from this black box are negative.
It's a Schrodinger's Toncoin or something like that, to carry the analogy.
Frankly speaking, I don't think, like, even if it, like, this is a Schroeder box in a way, because if you think about that, like Telegram inside or not inside of this box depends on some things that will happen to this box, and things that will happen to this box determined by, like, technology.
We're not lawyers. I mean, come on.
I'm not talking about legal things at all.
Okay.
Not legal opinion. And let me finish, please. So the thing is, can I finish, Pasha?
Yeah.
You want to talk?
I don't think that we should do any projection. That was our position for very, very, very long time. What happened?
Projections of what?
Of the future of especially different projects. I mean,
I'm not making any projections, Pasha. Can I finish?
Okay.
Please? Thank you. So the outcome of this, like, Schroeder paradigm is depends on what will happen to this black box, and what will happen to the black box is depending on several factors, like technology, for example. So let's assume that the technology sucks, and we know that it is. So the question is, does Telegram wants to be associated with the technology which sucks? Well, you know, that's a big question. Can this black box be, like, technology changed? I don't think so. Like, it takes an enormous amount of effort, and I don't think these people are currently projecting any technological strength to change anything in their system. So, and so on and so forth. Like, for example, imagine that this black box is a scam, and tomorrow, like, would Telegram be still inside this box if tomorrow we would know that the people run with the money, and we know the people that behind this project are, you know, some of them are complete scammers. So yeah, I mean, probably not. So the question, so this is a lot of that. It's not just because what Sergey said is, like, is Telegram inside the box or not? Well, again, it's a Schroeder thing. It depends a lot on what will happen to this project, you know, technologically and leadership-wise. And right now, at this particular moment, both of these perspectives, they don't seem adequate. Thank you.
Thank you, Mitja. I honestly, guys, I didn't want to bring a discussion about the prospects of Toncoin. I don't think we should actually get into that discussion. The only reason I brought this up is to comment on a lot of frustration by the community that what the hell is Toncoin advertising doing in the free Ton chats. That's the only reason I brought this up. Otherwise, I just, you know, we shouldn't really comment on the prospects of the project. We choose a very different approach, a very different strategy. I mean, let's wish them good luck and let's move on with our way, which again, I think is a very strong and sustainable way going forward.
And I'd agree with that. Obviously, you know, the bigger and more successful we get, the more imitators there's going to be. You look at every successful project, how many Bitcoin forks there've been over the years. If something works, it works well. People are going to want to try and, you know, ride coattails, so to speak. So it is what it is. The advertising thing is a bit annoying though, but hey, what can we do? Right, I don't see any more questions over on YouTube, and no one's got their hands raised or anything on Zoom. So there's only one thing to finish things up on, Ben's Bits, which I can't believe you guys let me run with that as the title for this. But yeah, only a few short ones this week. June, the second batch of tokens, as far as I'm aware, has gone out and has been distributed. I believe there's the third batch is going to be, you know, moved soon. Again, I'm kind of out the loop, as you guys know. But yeah, Fabrice has been very active in keeping you guys updated. So again, thank you for the decorum that's kind of creeping in. Everyone's been a lot better natured about this now. So onward and upward, Everscale. ChessNFT, which was given a brief mention earlier, but that's huge stuff. With the World Chess Championships coming up next month, I believe. Yeah, there's big work going on there. Check it out. Sign up to the waiting list. Get in on it. Mitja, he was on with Charlie Shrem earlier this week, bona fide crypto celebrity, and yeah, you made him raise his eyebrows more than a few times. So if you haven't seen that debate, it's over on Twitter. I believe it's been turned into a proper podcast as well. So lots of cool things to go check out there. On the note of podcasts, never mind the shitcoins. It was a really good week again this week. We had to postpone to Friday, but yeah, do check it out. In terms of the downloads, it's actually had a real nice spike already this week, so quite proud of that. KWPC, obviously plans are in the works for the first episode. It's not going to be a quick thing, this, guys. I know I've had quite a few messages. This is a big thing that we're doing. Everything needs to be put in place properly. We are getting going, basically. And I believe finally, a little thing, but Ron's back next week, hopefully. I believe so. So yeah, it's been lovely hosting for you for the past 4 weeks, and I'll probably step in the future. We'll discuss how things go. But yeah, next week, back to Mr. Milo. I believe that's a wrap for Weekly Meetup 79. Yes, 79. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for the presentations. I'm going to do a very slow 3, 2, 1 in case anyone's got questions. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day. Let's all get back to work, eh? Do some work. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye, guys.